Hi, it's Joanne. Today we're watching The Dragon Prince, Season 5, Episode 1, Domina, Profundis, which I know Domina means like mistress or something, and then Profundis I couldn't remember. I studied Latin until I was 18. I'm cool. I had no idea what it meant, so I googled it, and it means Lady of the Deep. I'm very excited for Season 5 of The Dragon Prince to be here. I have absolutely fallen in love with this show. Thank you so much to Albert, who sponsored the first 4 seasons, and then this show was voted to go onto YouTube by people on YouTube, so now it is just a normal show. That means that Season 5 is going to be up on YouTube a little bit differently to how Season 4 was. It's not going to change. It's going to still like be 1 week after Season 4 ended and just carry on, because that's how my watching of it kind of timed up with mid-August. But the difference is that the unedited versions of Season 5 are going to be up on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and then The Dragon Prince on YouTube. So right now when you're watching this on YouTube, the first 3 episodes are unedited on my Patreon instead of the whole thing like it was before, because just the different way that this season is. This is our currently airing show rather than, well, it's not a show that was recorded. You know what I mean? I'm rambling. I'm just so excited to see these babies again. Let's go. It's still the best thing that has ever been done. Was Lady of the Deep going to be a dragon we're after? Because we're trying to find all the different dragons, aren't we, to get their pieces of the Erebus puzzle. So we know to bring offerings now. Oh, hello, Zim.
Mum, Dad,
baby.
Nan, I love you.
The only vaguely decent thing Claudia has done, the only slight flicker of hope for that girl, and even that had she had to be prompted to do. At least that's somewhere safe. Has she not told them?
So did you...
that she held him up as proof. Bait is here. I was talking to him. Can't we have to help you, sweetheart?
just make bait?
We're going to need to know one thing. How do you kill a Star Touch elf? He's not gonna feel better if he's dead.
You know,
Your father is suffering from the consequences of his...
They might not do it.
Yes, Terry.
What happens the first time you use dark magic? This is the first time he used it since coming back to life.
So it puts you through this, and yet he still put his daughter through it too. Very interesting, because he held out for so fucking long and then he gave in. Terry, I do think, from the little bit he revealed about his past, it definitely seems like he didn't fit in at home. He didn't feel like he had a place. People judged him or didn't treat him for who he truly was. And I assume if Claudia came along and they ran into each other and she accepted him for who he was and loved him for who he was, I can see why he might have been blinded to some of her faults. But those faults are becoming more and more glaringly obvious and big scale, so I really hope he sees sense at some point.
Here we go, Erebos.
Ooh.
What's happening?
Who did that? Erebos or someone else? I mean, it's there for a little bit of time, right? So you grab a notepad and then you open the page and you write, Erebos is a bad elf who you can kill if you do. Like, you know, he can read a little bit at a time. It's there for like, if it was in English, I think I could have read some of it. Like, it's there for long enough for him to read a teeny bit of it at a time.
You are stripped of all titles and inheritances, and you are hereby banished. Banished again? Under penalty of death.
Yeah, she's giving you a chance, I think. This guy is so... And part of me genuinely still wonders if Erebos is speaking to him and, like, controlling him. You know, the same way he is Claudia and Viren. Because we saw that that's what he did before. He was in everybody's ears of all sorts of different powerful people around the place. But I definitely don't think this dude's going to just pop off and go and have a nice life somewhere else. He's going to come back and cause problems.
Rayla, what are you
Tell
doing?
him.
Oh, me? In ancient legends, the Star Touch elves are sometimes called the first elves. Maybe you could try searching for that instead.
Amazing idea! I'll try it.
Whoa! Bumpy
She
daisy.
just pickpocketed you, sweet boy.
Well,
I don't know why she's not telling Callum what she's up to. I mean, I know it's deeply personal to her, so it could just be that. And that she doesn't maybe want to distract anybody else from what they're going to. Maybe she thinks if she tells Callum, he'll devote all his time to it or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, Tell them you don't need to be sneaking around. I love the little dude waving too. I don't want to know what things this little baby boy, this little creature, has got locked away. All of the other little ones are boys. I feel like this one could be a girl, actually.
Synonym for cinnamon. There is no synonym for.
He's
Spice?
mimicking her.
I have an idea that I think is going to help you manage your anxiety. You wait here.
You don't deserve Terry, and you're gonna destroy him.
Waiting as hard as I can.
This creature scares me.
You're human. But who are you?
Yeah, I don't recognize him.
Oh,
You're gonna find a way to save them, my love. The coin of the human moved.
because right now, the world needs me.
I know, my
Callum
love.
and Ezra need me.
I think that's why she hasn't told
Great
them.
evil is trying to return to. I love you, and I haven't forgotten about you. I never will.
They know.
Surrender. You're under arrest.
I mean, this wasn't the best move, was it? Should have just talked to Callum.
Soon you'll be feeling like a tree in the springtime. Relieved.
Relieved.
Ta-da!
Oh, you're the best, Terry.
He
I feel
is.
so much better.
But you don't deserve him, and you're going to corrupt him.
So, you gave her your key?
No, my key's right here.
She did,
The
but she's
elf
also Rayla.
stole it.
She's not the elf.
Exactly.
She's Rayla.
I was carrying the weapon that was used to kill King Harrow.
Wait. What?
We,
None of this matters.
thing is, we know that her loved ones killed your loved ones because your loved ones killed the dragon. Like, we're trying to move past this cycle of violence that our forefathers were trapped in.
Don't you?
She didn't tell me. She has a good reason.
Bless him.
I know this. The tides are true as the ocean is deep.
Bless this
What does
boy.
that mean, Prince Callum?
It means I trust her. Unconditionally.
Bless this
Let her
boy.
go. Now.
This kingdom is being run by children, which, you know, may not be the smartest move, but I also 100% approve of this.
Sweet little guy, I just know
It's mimicking
everything's going to
Claudia.
be fine. I feel like a puddle of chill.
What is wrong with it?
Blood of child! Blood of child!
Is it because they're not doing what Aravis wants and Aravis is mad?
You can tell me when you're ready.
Oh.
Thank you, Callum.
But hopefully soon. I mean, I am curious. Boundaries? Trust?
He is adorable.
I've heard of those. They keep them in the Great Bookery in Luxoria.
Look at Bait.
Luxoria calls their library the Great Bookery?
It actually makes more sense than library.
Yeah, you know, it kind of does.
I mean, it's because Libra in French is book. Oh. I love it.
Well,
How long has he been waiting? And oh, hello, Zim. He's a beautiful boy. Oh. Zim is a puppy. Hello, Lady of the Deep.
I've called you here because...
But I do know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, tell us. I love this show's world building and the different dragons, and I definitely feel like potentially the different dragons sort of fit with different cultures' perceptions of dragons as well. Okay, this was a fantastic episode to bring us back to the show. I love these characters, and you've really seen how much they've matured, and you know, it really struck me while I've been editing all of the show for YouTube over the last month, how at the beginning Soren, I was like, oh, rolling my eyes every time he was on screen. I remember being like, oh god, it's Soren again, to the point now where I'm like, I'm Soren, I love you, you doing okay there, sweetheart? Whereas like in Claudia, I was like, well, hopefully she'll see sense and won't be the one that goes, no, bitch, no, okay, oh, you know, I thought Soren was going to be the bitch, and it turned out to be Claudia. And I also still think, as much as I despair of Claudia and I think she has made the wrong choice at every turn when there have been other choices, I think the show has still done a decent job, I mean a good job, of showing you that the motivations behind why she did what she was doing. The fact that, you know, way back when she chose to be with her father so she and Soren would be together or whatever, and like, you know, that she's followed her father down this path. She's become a dark mage just like him and been through the same sickness thing he's going through, and you can understand why she isn't turning her back on him, even though the fact that she isn't is still, you know, not a good thing, because she's old enough to look at her father and realize he is not a good man, and to continue to be at his side and fighting for him, and with him, and being willing to do all sorts of dastardly deeds in order to get there. You know, with the way she was taunting Rayla with those coins and then laughing when she didn't even give her the real ones was absolutely terrible and disgusting. And it was only Terry that was able to make her see sense. Now, my fear, in a way, is that either she's going to continue to corrupt Terry and take him to the dark side, or Aravos/Viren are going to be like, Terry is actually a stabilizing good influence on Claudia. He might make her see sense. We need to get rid of Terry to push Claudia further to the darkness. I'm concerned for Terry, essentially. The weird creature that's with him has always been terrifying. It's spent the whole episode mimicking Claudia, and now it's being all like, blood. I don't know if it actually said blood, but it sounded like it was saying blood. And I'm glad to see the consequences of using dark magic for the first time are a thing, because of course they are. You can kind of see that with the bigger the spell, the more their hair changes and everything, but it's good to kind of see it up close. Then we have the dragon crew hanging out, waiting for the Lady of the Deep to come. She turned up, very dragon-like, in the way she greeted them and everything. And she knows what the prison is, which is very useful to know. Then, of course, we have the people in Catullus, and seeing Bait just hanging out, always a highlight of any day of my life. But the way Callum just trusts Rayla without question, you know, I do still think like she probably should have told him sooner, could have told him, and I think it's a mixture of, this is such a huge thing, the fact that her parents and her uncle/guardian figure could all be alive. I mean, they're in these coins, this awful thing has been done to them, but there is a chance she could save them, and she's so scared that if she says it, she's going to find out that she can't save them, and like this whole, you know, mess of it being such a big, scary thing that she, you know, has this wonderful news that could also be the worst news ever. It's just such a mess. Combined with, I think, like she said, and when she kind of imagined she was talking to them, right now there are such big things going on, they don't have time to devote. And if she said, hey, Callum, my parents are in this coin, Callum might well devote all of his library time to researching the coins instead of researching things that could save the world. She and her little dude are keeping the coins somewhere very safe, I hope. I hope it's somewhere that Rayla like knows how to access if, God forbid, anything happens to the cute little dude. But I wish she had told him, but I also fully understand why she didn't. And I love Callum for how understanding he is. These kids have matured so much, and it's so lovely to see. Fantastic first episode. Very excited to see where the rest of this season goes. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.